All right. Every year we do a NSCC, a national preview show. The last 2 years I've done it solo, and I thought, man, that's no fun. Why don't we bring someone else to kind of to spitball about the show with? And one of the first guys that popped up on my list to do it with is the gentleman you see here, Mike Moynihan, baseball collector. And I said, man, I want to have someone on that like is looking forward to it as much as I am, and he's I know he's right there at the top of the list. Could be tied but can't be beat. And so he did his own version of this, so he's doing double duty for us today. I appreciate that. And welcome, Mike. What we're gonna do, Mike, like I mentioned even off the air, kind of go through each day here, what might be key events, if any, for each day, starting with Wednesday, rolling through Sunday. Then, real quickly, I'm going to, just for those that are autograph people, mention the autograph guests for each day. I'm going to roll through that like mega quick. I'm not going to give times when we do that. I'm just going to go in order of appearance. So the first guy I say would be early, and then go up the clock from there. So, starting with Wednesday, really the first day. I know Tuesdays move-in day. We're typically not allowed to get in there unless we're setting up. Wednesday's called sneak peek night, and they start moving in up in the morning, and then if you're a VIP ticket holder, you have your free VIP signings, which this year Ron Jaworski, Bernie Perot, Parent, Greg Luzinski. Then the sneak peek starts at 3:30. Again, open to VIPs, and then so the general public comes in at 4. So you get 30 minutes as a VIP holder to go through and check out some stuff. Wednesday, not many signers, just two, and they're both also VIP, ticket holder freebies. All right, former Philly Mickey Morandini and Yankee Roy White. And Wednesday, I know Mike and you've talked about this. If you're looking for maybe that harder to find card, and you can't take the chance of waiting or someone else to snatch it up on you, Wednesday's the day to grab it. I mean, touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, John, thanks for having me in this show. I think this is a record 3 minutes, and I finally get to say something.
I was, as I was doing it, I'm like, all right, get to the punchline, John.
um, uh, yeah, Wednesday for me. I'm teasing you, right? I mean, everybody should know
No,
out
no, I
there.
know.
We're
Mike,
good
listen, I
friends.
can laugh
So
at myself. So
yeah, we're good friends. We tease each other
yeah,
all the time. All right. Uh, Wednesday's a great day at the National because, like you just said, if you're looking for something rare and you don't want it to get away, find it on Wednesday if you can. The other great thing about Wednesday is if you're looking for a relatively common card, let's say you're looking for a Hank Aaron rookie or a Koufax rookie or some modern card. The great thing about Wednesday is they're all there, right? I mean, all the inventory that the dealers have is going to be there Wednesday. You have more to choose if you're picky about what grade you want, what kind of eye appeal, etc. You'd rather have more to choose from than less. And so even if it's not just a rare card, but a common card that you just really have your, like, I really want an XYZ card, you kind of have your pick of the litter versus whatever's left on Saturday or Sunday. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now, if it's not, let's say, a tough to find card, I mean, I always say wait towards if you're going to be there for the whole event. Wait to the back end. I like to buy on Sundays. The nationals I've been to, I usually stay late into Sunday, and it's a good opportunity maybe to get some deals depending on how the dealers have fared. And sometimes you see those showcase signs with everything 50% off in this case, or table or what have you. But like you said, if it's a card that's not going to fit that description and a little harder to obtain, Wednesday's a great opportunity to lock it up early and be done with it. If something's high on your priority list, especially if it's something that may not last. In other words, if I don't get this, someone else is going to probably come by and pick it off, and I'm still going to have it on my list and playing catch up. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. This is the first year for me that I'm actually going to be there on Wednesday. I've traditionally come in. A matter of fact, I'm coming in on Tuesday, even though just coming into town. But this will be the first time I'm actually in the city at the start of the national. So that'll be different for me.
Yeah, and Tuesday we call it day zero. Nobody's getting in unless you have a dealer pass. I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
but that, if you have a dealer pass and can snag one, it's kind of fun to walk around there.
yeah. Like it's and you're an imposter. It's
Yeah,
like
it's pretty fun.
yeah. So going to Thursday. Thursday, obviously first full day of the show from morning to evening. Only one event really to speak of, but it's a big one. It's the trade show night. And this year, as has been announced, it's going to be the first time. Trade show done usually by Ryan Card Collector 2, Jimmy Mahan was at they rented a hotel banquet hall. This time the National is embracing it, and it's going to be on site at the National, hosted still by Ryan and Jimmy. Panini's involved, other sponsors are involved. I'm not a big trade night guy. I understand its importance to the hobby, Mike. So I don't. It might not be something you see me at. This. I'm not saying no, but if I was a bet man, I'd say no. But it is interesting that the National is sort of taking it under their, adopted it, so to speak, and it's going to be on site, which I think is better. Now, it's still not going to unclog your hotel room, hotel main floor. You're still going to have those pop up trade nights there. But
Do you
you're,
think though? Sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know that that's going to be as prevalent as it was in, say, Chicago, because you don't have, all the hotels are pretty much casinos other than the
Yeah.
Sheraton, and so those places aren't going to stand for, you know, people sitting around with Pelican cases, grabbing tables and making their own impromptu trade night. I think it's going to be a lot less than it would be at a Chicago, for example.
Yeah, well, I've never been to AC as far as for this event. I've been to Atlantic City, but not for the national. So yeah, I don't know how the whole. I'm sure that. Well, let's put it this way, Mike. I think it won't be for lack of effort. I think there'll be collectors and hobbyists who try to do it, and it might be the hotel that says, "Hey, we can't have it. Sorry."
Right.
That sort of thing. So whether they clamp down on it, which didn't happen in Chicago, I mean, do you think now that the official trade night is in the convention center itself will cut down too, or you just think it's the locale more than anything else?
I think trade night Thursday night, hosted by Ryan, is going to be a madhouse, absolute
Yeah.
madhouse. We're also doing content create. There's something not on your schedule, but because it's not official, but um, we are doing a content creator get together on Thursday night at the Sheraton, just pretty much in the lobby / bar area. We're just going to all gather, and there's no agenda other than come and meet your favorite content creators, come and hang out, talk cards, talk whatever. And we're going to do that at 7:00 that Thursday night, which does directly conflict with the trade night. But the point is, it's a come and go. Like, just come here, come see us, go to the trade night, go to the trade night, come over, grab a beer with some of us. It's
Yeah.
really
Well, and
informal.
I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you. Like I already said, I'm not a big trade night guy. I cover it because of content creation. It's an
Yeah,
event, but it's not like given the choice between the two. I'm going to be at the bar mingling with you guys if that's the case, and other people that people can come up and say I love your show or you suck, either one, and then we can go from there. And if they say you suck, I'll just say if you buy me a beer, I'll do better next time. So
that's what we could do. We could have like Mike, your show sucks. Do a shot. We could have like lined up Jaeger shots or something, or fireball shots, and we all just, if someone comes up and tells you your show sucks, you have to do a shot.
Yeah, well, you're a lot closer to where you're staying than I am. So
That's
I gotta
true.
we gotta be careful. I'm hoping I get less sucks than you do, because I'll be in trouble getting back to my rented beach house. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like you said, that's sort of there you go. It's up there. So and I'm sure you'll post more about it as we get
Yeah, and
closer.
a big point of that is as cool as the cards are and the hobby part of the show, it's about the people. The hobby is
Yeah,
the people. The national is the people. It makes it
yeah,
so much better. I've been to nationals where I wasn't friends with a lot of people in the hobby. It was kind of me in my own little world, my cocoon. I can tell you that once my experience expanded, my network of hobby friends expanded, it only enhanced the show to a degree that is indescribably awesome. It is, until you experience it, you don't know. We have people come to this event. This will be the third year in a row that we've done this kind of get together. Is the easiest way to say it. It's just, hey, we're all meeting here at this time. Show up if you want. Come hang out. And that has been so much fun. So many people that are just consumers. They come up. Oh, I wanted to meet
yeah,
you. I want to meet John. Well, no one's ever said to me, I want to meet John Newman. So, but people have said, I want to meet different guys, and I introduce them, and they just love it. So it can be anybody. You don't have to be a content creator to show up. If you listen to this show, you're invited. Like that.
yeah. There you go. And
Open
you'll
door.
post. I'll retweet or whatever. Post myself, and we'll get the
Get
buzz
the word
out
out.
there.
Yep.
So for Thursday, here are the autograph guests for today. I'm going to go. I'm not going to read the times. I'm just going to read the athletes and celebrity names. I'm going to go in order. So the first name will be in the morning, and then each name as the day goes on. So the first two are part of the VIP package, free autographs. That's Pat Listash and Bill Berge. And then a couple big Steelers here: Joe Green, Demonte Dawson, Mike Garrett, Jim Kelly, Dave Robinson, Jack Youngblood, Anthony Munoz, Jim Thome, Thurman Thomas, Larry Walker, Eric Dickerson, O.J. Anderson, Dr. J, and Willie Lanier. A lot of Hall of Famers signing on Thursday. So that's Thursday. Let's go into Friday. I highlighted this. It doesn't necessarily affect me and you, Mike, but they start to do the booth raffle for the following national. We'll see who's going to get a booth to set up and make some money at the following national. And again, just a fully open day from morning to night. This is where, to me, the show, and I'll ask your truth. This is where I think it starts to get a little bit busier as people roll into town. Some people will take a Friday off from work, come in early, and get to the show in mid afternoon. So you're going to see on Friday, if you ask me, a little more foot traffic, a little more or less elbow room walking that floor as we get into the weekend.
Well, last year was interesting because I thought the same way you do. And last year, from observation, Thursday was nuts to butts.
Yeah,
Friday was shockingly, I was like, where is everybody? And so I think like you, I think logically what you're saying makes sense. And I do agree that being in Atlantic City, you're going to get some of those New York crowds that come down for a Friday, maybe take the day off. Like you said, there'll be a lot more, I think, walk-in traffic on Friday.
yeah,
But to me, Thursday is really where, Friday night or Wednesday night's like, oh, okay, that was fun. Thursday, it's a full day. By Friday, if you've been there since Tuesday or Wednesday, you're tired already, And
yeah. Oh
so
yeah,
I remember last year on Friday taking several breaks, going back to my room and collapsing, during the day, even. And for me, that's my last full day because I'm going Tuesday to Saturday. But
yeah,
Friday's usually a great day at the show because people are still there that have started early in the week, and then everybody else starts coming in for the weekend. So you get this kind of conglomeration of groups, full timer, all time early guys, and then the weekenders. So it's really fun.
Yep, no doubt. Let's go through the Friday autograph list. A little bit longer now on Friday. Again, going from earliest to latest. Artist Gilmore, Spencer Haywood, Joe Theismann, Alex English. Free with VIP package, Bill Madlock. Juan Marichal, Dave Winfield, Craig Biggio, Lenny Wilkins, Andre Dawson, Dan Issel, Johnny Bench, Patrick Renner from the Sandlot, in case you're wondering, Chipper Jones, Emmett Smith, Jeff Bagwell, Paul Molitor, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, Tim Raines, and last but not least, Tony Perez. So again, a longer list, even more Hall of Famers for your Friday signers as well. So now we're into Saturday, and this, to me, at least logically, is going to be your busy day. Most people have weekends off. Like you said, you got the tri-state area with New York, New Jersey, even probably people driving in from Pennsylvania, even Massachusetts. I expect a big crowd on Saturday, as what typically happens. Again, booth selection lottery happens in the morning as well on Saturday and Sunday as well. So I'll just get that Friday, Saturday, and Sundays when they do the raffle to see who will be setting up and available spots for the following national coming year. Saturday's gonna be busy. Expect a big crowd. Expect to be sort of pigeonholed in there. Not gonna be running races down the aisles. And there's obviously, Mike, I think you agree. A lot of people, who are not coming for the whole week. They're just the weekenders. This is the day they circle on their calendar. Hey, the next 2 days, I'm going to be at the National, where we might be there earlier. There's some people who just take, especially if they're not flying in, if they're just driving in, might be Saturday and Sunday. So expect big crowds. Be patient. If you want to hit every table, it's gonna be a time consuming venture for you. That's why I like getting there during the week, so I don't feel like I missed tables already, or I got to see them. Your take on Saturday?
Yeah, pack a shoehorn because you're going to be packed in there, and so you need to be okay with that. Be patient. I have very little patience for if I'm at a table and I want to see something, uh, and you're going to have all the guys there with their Pelican cases selling stuff, and that happens no matter what the environment is. I think it's going to be even more so this year, given where I think the card market is. People there trying to unload some of the crap they made mistakes on in 2020,
Yeah,
2021 in terms of overbuying, overpaying, whatever. And but just it's hard to be patient, but we need to be. Obviously, we all want to be courteous to other people. Nobody wants to, be a jerk, but at the same time, um, be assertive too, I guess is my point. You can be assertive and patient at the same time. Those sound counterintuitive, but if you have something you want to ask and they're doing a deal, a dealer's doing something, say, hey, real quick, don't mean to interrupt, or sorry to interrupt, but can you, because I'll be out of there in 2 seconds if he tells me a price that I'm not happy with, you
yeah,
know. And if it's something I'm willing to, okay, there's some room here to negotiate, then I might decide to stay. But I don't want to waste 10 minutes sitting there waiting for a deal to get done. The dealer comes over, tells me a price I'm unhappy with and unwilling to negotiate further. I've just wasted 10 minutes of short floor time, which, oh, by the way, is so valuable time. Floor time is valuable time.
yeah,
And there's only so much of it. And so, especially if you're only there a day or two, good luck. I mean, you're going to
yeah,
be balls to the wall going nuts. But point being, you can, don't be afraid to tell a dealer, hey, I'm here to buy a card, potentially. What's your price on this? You can go back to your deal in just a second. I may be out of your hair, no problem. Or you could make a sale. So be
yeah.
assertive, but don't be rude, and walk that line.
Yeah, and like you said, you hit the nail on the head. If you're only going to be there like Saturday and Sunday, like I mentioned, that might be the case for people, especially on the driving side of things. definitely make the most of your time, and because it goes quick. I mean, as much as it's a tiring day, it's a blur sometimes too. Like that's it, and they're kind of giving you the heads up. We're show floors closing 15 minutes. Let's get ready to exit. So it goes quick. Saturday signees again. Hall of Famers galore. Early to late, Wade Boggs, Ricky Henderson, Gary Payton, Dan Fouts. Free if you have a VIP ticket, Mike Nelms. Tony Oliva, Joe Montana. Free if you have a VIP ticket, John Montefusco. Barry Sanders, Dan Marino. Patrick Renna again, he loves the show. Back for a second day. Mariano Rivera, Chuck Liddell, Adrian Peterson, Paul Pierce, Tim Hardaway Sr., boxer Floyd Mayweather, my guy from Brooklyn, Mully, Chris Mullen. Got to think about that one there. Robert O'Neill, Mitch Richmond, and Frank Gore. So if you're into the Golden State Warriors and run the TMC there, you got Tim Hardaway and Chris Mullen there about the same time. So again, loaded with Hall of Famers. If that's your thing, the one thing I want to add with autographs, I like to meet athletes I'm fond of. The problem with the autographs, and where I'm going with Mike, is you talk about time being so valuable, you're going to lose a lot of it, like kind of waiting on that line. Now there's super VIP where you kind of like a speed pass at an amusement park, that sort of thing. But if you don't have that, and you're especially if you're waiting for a Barry Sanders or Joe Montana, Dan Marino type of guy, be prepared to like really stand in line, and hopefully you're with somebody or you meet somebody near you online where you can talk, and it won't feel as long if you're having a good conversation. So that's one of the reasons I don't really tend to go for autographs at the National. So, but I see Chris Mullen there and Joe Green, and those are two of my favorite athletes of all time. So I have to look into that. But so that's Saturday, and let's go right into the last day. As it's self-explanatory, right? Last day, last chance to grab anything you want to grab, whether that's an autograph, whether that's a card, or a set that you're looking at. It tends to be, I don't know if you agree with this, Mike, it starts to thin out a little bit, especially after that early morning rush as people catch planes, check out of their lodging accommodations, and get ready to return to normal life again instead of the weekend of Christmas for collectors. So Sunday mornings usually kind of busy, and then it sort of clears out. It's a day I personally like when I'm buying stuff. I like to try to wait if I can to get a couple deals, depending on how the show did for dealers. Right, you may see, hey, everything on this table half off. Even I've seen a sign for 75% off, 75% off. You've seen it, Mike, where someone says 15K takes this whole table, that sort of deal. So it's a good buying opportunity. Again, you're not going to find, some of your keyer cards and people aren't going to sell those for 50% off, let's say. So that's where what we were talking about on Wednesday comes into focus. But Sunday's a kind of a last chance. Maybe pick up a couple steals and deals as the show winds up. Sometimes people pack up early, meaning dealers too. So be wary of that. You may not have all the dealers there any longer. They may kind of head out early, depending on how far their travel is. I've seen that in the past as well. Just kind of your thoughts as we wrap up on Sunday here.
Yes, I think Sunday. So it's funny. We have the pre-pandemic way that the National went, and now the post-pandemic, and I think it's very different. 2021, no 2020 show, obviously. So before that, I remember being at 2018, 2019, and by Saturday afternoon, even, and certainly from what I heard from other people from Sunday, wax dealers are wanting to blow out because they don't want to carry all this crud home, right? So the less they can carry, the better. So you'll see huge, or you used to see huge slashes in wax prices. That's not necessary. That certainly wasn't true in 21. They were happy to take it home instead of and sell it on the secondary market. So I wonder, given the readily availableness of wax again, if that idea will return this Sunday at the National. We'll see. Time will tell. But that would
Yeah.
something to look for is what I'm saying.
Well, when I was in Dallas, I know this isn't a Dallas review show. I noticed wax had come way down, and I mean there were blasters on the floor for $20, which is what they would be on the shelf at Walmart and Target if you found them. So,
How about this
yeah,
one? I went to the Dallas show little brother called the Arlington
yeah,
show. It's run by Kyle and his crew. There were blasters on the floor for $15.
wow,
So
yeah,
under MSRP. So
yeah,
point being, some of these big wax dealers, Dave and Adams and Steel City Sports and all these, they might be willing. And here's the other thing. I don't know why maybe people don't do this, but if you're a wax guy and you want to go get wax, ask for a better deal. Hey, if I buy three, can
yeah.
I get three for and they're $50 a piece? Can I get three for 100? I mean, what's the worst they can say to you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
no, or come back with a counter offer. We can't do that, but we
right,
can do this.
why
So
not?
yeah,
Why not
it's the
offer?
same thing about buying cards, right? You offer, hey, if I buy these three cards, would you take this? Same thing with wax. Again, great point by you. Worst they can say, sorry, can't do that, or how about this? We can't do that, but we'll get you a better deal at this price.
Yeah,
So yeah, for sure. And like you said, there's a lot those big wax wholesalers and distributors, they've got like cases upon cases behind those tables, that the less they have to bring back, the happier they are. So for sure, ask, especially if you're buying quantity. So let's go to the Sunday autograph signers. And I just noticed, Mike, in my eyesight going, I left off some of the late signees from each day. So I'll quickly run through these, and so we don't, and then we're going to have open forum about tips and tricks, even other than what we already said. So for Sunday, Chris Chambliss, free auto for VIP, Stephen Baker, Ron Guidry, Jack Morris, Robert Parrish, free auto for VIP holders, Art Shamsky, former Met, Andrew Jones, Dale Murphy, Craig Nettles, Goose Gossage, Chuck Knobloch, Kevin McHale. Hey, Patrick Renna back again. I don't know. He must not leave. He must not leave the floor. They just have like a room in the back for him. Ken Griffey, Senior, Rolly Fingers, Ted Simmons, Daryl Strawberry, Bucky Dent, Steve Garvey, Bobby Hull, Lance Parrish. Continuing on Sunday, two free ones if you're VIP, Don Money and Ron Hansen. Now, going back to Thursday, this would be evening. I missed these guys on the first go round. Lenny Moore, free. Carl Nelson for VIPs. Charlie Ward, free to VIPs. Tommy Green, Steve Largent, David Ortiz, Andre Reed, Randy White, Paul Krause. And then on Thursday, again, these would be evening times. Mike Piazza, Brian Bosworth, Bill Walton, Burt Blyleven, Dave Parker, Allen Iverson, Jamal Lewis, free to VIP, Al Brumry, Walt Frazier, Thomas Hearns, Michael Irvin, Dennis Potvin, free if you're a VIP holder, Mike Rozier, Bobby Hull, Ray Knight, Rico Petroselli will be free if you're a VIP ticket holder, and Vinny Testaverde. And Saturday evening ones, or afternoon ones, I should say, um, Jason Taylor, Lawrence Taylor. I find it funny that they put Lawrence Taylor and Joe Theismann on different days, probably safe. Bob Greasy, Reggie Jackson, Phil Sims, free if you're a VIP, Milt Thompson, Ray Lewis, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., free if you're VIP, Mark Mosley, Ed Reed, Bobby Hull, Brian Leach, Bernie Perrant, Michael Vick, and Randall Cunningham. So there you go. Had to backtrack on some of those autos, but if you're an autograph person, there's some big name Hall of Famers on the list for sure. It's just I just hate to wait. Like I always feel like if I'm waiting online for an autograph, I'm missing something else. It may or may not be true, but I just I don't like to be in a line if I don't have to. So it's bad enough on the weekend. You like you said, you're probably gonna have to wait to get in front of a showcase you want to see some cards in. So, let's let open discussion, Mike. There's a lot of tips and tricks. Many of them are the old tried and true. Right, first one: wear comfortable shoes. You're going to put on a lot of steps, a lot of miles. It's going to be a long day, regardless. The worst thing is when your feet hurt, and they will hurt. It's just to what degree they will. So you want to wear, the most comfortable shoes you can. I mean, what do you got? What do you want to throw in there as well?
Bring your own food, at least
Yeah,
snacks, stuff like that. And one thing I
yeah,
don't think people talk about enough is it's okay to take a break in the middle of the day or multiple times throughout the long day, because if you just sit down over in a corner on the floor even for 15 minutes, I'm telling you, it's amazing how much that rejuvenates you. Instead of just getting slower and slower throughout the day, if you take kind of intentional breaks, you'll be able to just have a lot more stamina throughout the day and really see more. You'll be able to do more that way, honestly, than just trying to plow through the pain, so to speak, and get, I got to keep going, but hey, take a breath, take a minute, take 10 or 15 minutes off your feet. It'll do wonders for how you feel at the end of the day.
yeah, no doubt. Have a backpack. We're talking about food and snacks, right? That's where you can keep that stuff in. Granola bars, beef jerky. I didn't. Last year at last year's national, I always ate dinners, but I really skipped lunch and just did granola bars, chips, beef jerky, and just was ready for dinner. That's for sure. And as you can see, I don't miss many of those. So I didn't miss them last year either. But I almost felt like I didn't want to like take an hour lunch and not be at the show. So just pulling out a granola bar, a couple slices of beef jerky, and walking and eating at the same time, and just waited for the show to close and then eat dinner, whether that was on my own or with a scheduled group. I just that was the way that I did it. Have water as well, uh, even if you just sip it throughout the day. Just you don't want to get dehydrated. Some of these facilities can get warm depending on their circulation. Um, I wrote this down. Make time to talk to people, especially if you're going to see people, especially when you're on the content creation side. People will come up to me, hey man, love your show, blah blah blah. I'm sure you get that too. I'm always receptive to that. I don't poo-poo anybody. I don't give them. I don't believe in cold shoulders. I love meeting people. Hence the tagline of the show, the hobbies of the people. So I kind of build that. That's why I love that I'm there the whole week, because I feel like I don't have to cut those conversations, short, maybe as maybe someone else. If you're there for, like you said, just for the weekend, your time is
Precious.
yeah, and you might not be have not might be, you might not be able to have those long drawn out conversations where you have to say, hey, I'm only here today or and just part of tomorrow. I gotta get going, but it was good seeing you. I don't like doing that, but I also have the luxury of being there the whole show, especially this year, which is the first time I'll be there at the start to finish. So make time for conversations. Another thing I wrote too, Mike, was have a game plan, right? Not that it's a deal breaker if you don't, but I think I go into like most shows with like 4 to 6 cards. I'm sort of hoping to get, knowing I'm not going to get all of them. If I can pick off one, two, three, would be highly successful. Um, and that way you sort of keying on something and have sort of an MO. Some people tell me they just like going without a game, whatever strikes their fancy. Nothing wrong with either way. I just think if you are looking for something, just knowing what you're looking for is half the battle. Take notes, right? There's I don't know how many tables there are going to be this year, but plenty of them, right? You're going to lose track. Where did I see that card? And you don't need a pen and paper, right? If you have a smartphone, you have a notepad on there, type it in there, Johnny Bench rookie, table 752, $200 if you want to even go get depending how detailed you want to get. And you can, you can kind of track that and then know. Worst thing you can do, yeah, take pictures. I'm not gonna lie. I've been to what 3 or 4 of these things. I still get lost. Like obviously, two I went to were both Chicago, but I still get tables are not exactly people aren't in exactly the same place. So there's many times I'm looking around like, how do I get back here? And so take notes if you got, especially if you're looking for certain cards and want to remember where you saw it and for how much. Go ahead. I don't want to give all mine. Go if you're going to throw some out there, Mike.
Well, I'm writing down ideas, but yeah, like you said, you will not remember. You think you will remember. Take a picture of the booth, take a picture of the aisle that it's on, put a note on your phone, all different ways to accomplish the same thing, which is 2 hours from now when I'm going, oh crap, where was that card? You'll be able to find it quicker and easier, and you're not wasting time searching. The other thing
Yeah,
is, you mentioned if you have a game plan, if you have like I have 900 and something cards on my want list, and as much as I'd love to have all that on my phone, which I do primarily through set registries and stuff, but you can't count on the internet being perfect,
yeah,
being able to either get on Wi-Fi or cell service. So my suggestion is have a printed out list with you. It will not hurt you to have it. You'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, I promise. And have that with you so that you can go, all right, um, you know, I can at least pull my list out if I can't pull it up on my phone. Don't be afraid to print that list of if even if it's 20 cards or 50 cards or whatever that you're kind of okay. If I find these, that'd be great. Um, make sure you have a hard copy of that. Is my point.
yeah. That's a great point because there's a lot of bandwidth being used in that. I mean, just go to a table on a busy day, and you think you're at a rock concert where they're playing like a sad song, and everyone's holding their phone up, right? Everyone's phones out, checking comps. That's where we're at. Dealers too, and so there's a lot of bandwidth going down. I know in Chicago at points exactly that. There's reception wasn't great. So nothing beats pen and paper. You don't need electricity or Wi-Fi for pen and paper.
Let me give
Um,
one more. Let me give
yeah,
one
go
more good
ahead. Go
one.
ahead.
And we mentioned it when we were talking about wax, but if you pay sticker price for anything, you're the sucker. And I
Yeah,
mean that in a way that unless it's like super ultra rare, one of one, you're never going to see it again. Um, never pay sticker. And I say this on my show all the time. But another thing about the National is walk around a little bit before you buy something. If you're looking for a card, and again, unless it's like uber rare 101, you're going to find another one. So the minute you buy one, I promise you're going to walk 2 aisles over and see one for 20% less. And you're going to be like, dang it. So
yeah,
walk the floor, get a feel for it. Especially if you have multiple days on the floor, get a good idea and just be patient, if it's, especially if it's a card that, like we said, is relatively common. If it's so just negotiate everything. Again,
yeah,
just like with wax, any card, you've said it, the worst they can say is no. And you probably can find some amount that's still cheaper than sticker. Even if sticker, I did this the other day. There was a card that I would have happily paid sticker for, and I still couldn't make myself not try to negotiate a lower price. And I ended up saving myself $50. So,
yeah,
and I would have paid sticker. So
yeah,
it's, I mean, if the guy would have been a total hard ass about it, I wouldn't have done it, but I would have paid sticker. But the point is they have room. Don't be afraid to ask for a lower price. If you
yeah.
don't, you're just going to cost yourself money.
Yeah, and you mentioned a scenario where if you buy something sort of at first sight and then you go 2 hours over and you see the same card for 30, $40 less. This isn't Walmart. You can't go back to that first
Right.
table and say, hey, I'm returning this, right? It wasn't I already have it or whatever excuse. There's no returns. Like that sale is final.
Yeah.
So that's where like taking notes and keeping track of where you seen what for how much, and so if you're looking for Johnny, I'm just making up something. If you're looking for a Johnny Bench rookie and you have four notes, right? A 5 or 4 is, a PSA 4 is 200 here, a PSA 4 is 150 there. It was 175 at this table. Now you know where sort of your best price is. You kind of can eliminate those other couple tables. You can find the cheapest one that you've seen, and still, like you said, still maybe offer to negotiate. Hey, can you do a little bit better? But at worst case, that's at least the cheapest sticker price one that you have on your list, and you know,
Well, and another great point to that is, like you said, let's say you want a Johnny Bench rookie, or you have a few key cards that you're really looking for, and you know of the condition, you know that you're wanting, that what grade, etc. Doing a lot of work beforehand is going to save you a lot of time, or doing a little bit of work beforehand will save you a lot of time on the floor. If there's a few, there's for me, there's like 4 or 5 key cards that I'm like targeting. If I don't get them, it's not the end of the world, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to be intentionally looking for these in these grades. I'm going to know comps before I go, and they're going to be
yeah,
on my list so that I can
yep,
go. If a card that I want is comp is around 200 and I walk up to a dealer and see the same grade, same card for 400, I'm going to know, okay, this next, go to the next one, because that guy's not going to come down half on day one or day two, and probably not ever. So I might as well not even bother. If I didn't know that, I might sit there, oh, is that a good price or not? And I'm looking it up and I'm like, oh, nope. And I waste that time. Do that again, because floor time is so valuable. Do that when you're at home sitting on your couch or in your office pre-show that week
yeah,
before.
or even the night before in your hotel room or wherever you're
Sure.
staying for the next day. That it's a great tip because it's something I do. I try to know comps on what I'm looking for to some degree before I even. I don't like pulling out my phone at a table. I'm not saying I'd never do it if I had to, but if I have a choice where like knowing without having to look at my phone, I'd rather be in that situation than I even remember times where I'll walk away from the table and then look at rather than do it at the table.
I do it all the
I
time.
don't know
I
why.
do
It's
that
just
all the time.
yeah, it's just a weird vibe. I just don't want to do it at the table itself. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just a personal preference. Get some sleep, get some rest. Right, you're going to be tired at the end of each day. There's going to be stuff to do after the show too. I get it. Going to dinner with folks, like your event, which is going to be great. But at
Gambling.
some, yeah, gambling, which thankfully the older I get, the less I do. But you know, get some rest, even if it's you mentioned I did that a few times. Went back to my hotel room midday, literally set the alarm on my phone and took like an hour power nap. Woke up, freshened up, and then headed back to the show. Made a huge difference, and it really was only in an hour. And when you're going to be there 5 days, that could be huge. Try to go to bed early. Some days you might be earlier than others, but the more rest you get, the better off you're going to be. You're going to be tired. You just be less on fumes maybe at the end.
I have a topic I want to ask you about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a lot of people, you mentioned all the autographs, people that are going to be there. Another thing a lot of people like to do at the National, because it's a unique opportunity, is get cards graded on site, by the major, whether it's PSA, CSG, SGC. And as we're recording this, we're a month away from the National. None of the companies have, especially
Yeah.
PSA is obviously the big elephant in the room. They have not announced yet what their on-site grading cost is going to be. What do you think? I have a number that I think it's going to cost. What do you think it's going to cost to grade a card at the National?
Well, I'll take it a step further then, Mike. Some of them haven't even announced whether they will be grading. I think PSA will because they did last year, based on
Yep.
on last year. To answer your question, though, I'm going to say $50 will be the lowest, and it may be more. I
I
mean,
think
I'm
it'll
trying
be
to.
way more. And
Yeah,
if you plan on, if you get there Saturday or Friday even, and you think you can go stand in the PSA line and turn your cards in and get them back by Sunday, forget about it. That
yeah,
that ship will have sailed. Last year at $250 a card. They sold out all their available grading capacity by Thursday morning.
yeah,
And I turned in my cards on Tuesday. I got a dealer to get me in. I went and turned my cards in on Tuesday. I got them back Wednesday or Thursday. I actually saw you when I got them back.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was literally standing with you, as a matter of fact, when that happened. But you need to be early. Don't come Friday, Saturday hoping to turn cards in that they will get back to you. That's not going to happen. They will be sold out for sure by, I would guess, Thursday afternoon this year. I think they're going to be somewhere around the $100 to $200 a card on site. If it's $50, they'll uh, forget about it. They'll be sold out by Wednesday.
yeah.
Uh,
Or even if it's like you're not getting it back at the show, but you can sub at that level, and well, you pay for the shipping. Uh, I obviously I'm not breaking news here. This is pretty Captain Obvious stuff. PSA is probably going to be the high end of that spectrum. Let's assume all the companies grade on site. SGC, in my conversations with them, Mike, again, they haven't said anything either way. I'm again, this is just speculation. I'm thinking they're going to do similar what they did last year. A lot of like free breaks and giveaways. CSG. We'll see what they're one of the cheaper sub level grading companies right now. If they grade at the national, what we'll do to, I think that's the bigger question, right? Is what will some of the lesser priced grading companies that are viable going to be taken uh, in show subs for? Are they going to raise their price significantly, and that sort of thing? That'll be a huge question. I think PSA will obviously grade on site, and it'll probably be like you said, at least three figures minimum. And obviously at that price, you have to be selective with what you're subbing, which is I think what they really want. I think that's their objective.
100%.
So I get it. So it'll be interesting to see what SGC and CSG do, whether they grade on site, and if they do, what their price points are going to be. I think PSA is going to be sort of pretty similar to what they were last year, although they're saying they're way more caught up than they've ever have been recently. I don't know if that factors in. They might say, well, that's the case, but we don't want to get buried again and make the price point too low and get back to that where we were before.
Well, you got to remember this is all on site. So I think they're going to bring more graders than they did last year, which means they'll have a higher capacity for cards at the national. And I think they're going to make their price reasonably competitive in that environment. So that should bode well for on-site grading, and they don't need to leave everybody back to keep plowing through their backlog. You've got if I was to agree with your speculation about SGC, I would say they will not grade on site. Again, that's not been made official by the
Yeah,
folks at SGC, but I would think they kind of enjoyed last year from what I've talked with people at SGC. That was a great environment for them, just brand awareness for them, an
yeah,
opportunity to be a champion for the hobby. They got plenty of business without having to take cards at the national. And
yep,
so I would guess, again, we're both guessing here without knowing, that they will not be grading on site. I would think CSG will, because they did last year. And I think they're still trying to build their brand, and that's an opportunity for them to do that. SGC is pretty established. They don't need to do that
yep.
kind of thing. So that would be my thought on that. So if you're a grading person, that's kind of where we're at there.
Yeah, I think that's if I was a betting man, that's where I'd put my chip on that table. I think that's exactly what's probably would happen. But we'll see. We still got they probably have to decide soon because it's 30, 40 days from the event, and obviously a lot of logistics. Like you said, if you're going to grade on site, you got to bring different staff than if you don't. So that's going to be a factor with lodging and hotels and
And
food
equipment
and
and
all and yeah, all that stuff, all the encapsulation equipment. One tip I didn't mention, because I laugh when I hear this on other shows. Like, you shouldn't have to tell people to wear deodorant. Like, that should be a natural, like, occurrence. Like, if I have to put in this show, like, hey folks, don't forget your deodorant.
And brush your
Now
teeth.
I yeah, I mean, I'm not, mom or dad here, but I think some of that deodorant stuff too is like, I've heard people say, well, carry a stick in your backpack. You get sweaty or hot during the day, even though you used it in the morning. Everything has a shelf life. Maybe you need to hit it again. All right, I'll go with that. But put it on in the morning to start with, and I shouldn't have to really remind anyone to do that, including myself. But hey, I've heard other people talk about it. It's not going to be the best smelling place in the world. I think that comes with the territory. I can take shorter breaths and lesser deep inhales and just kind of suck it up. It is what it is. Maybe a better thing, instead of saying use your deodorant, which should just come naturally, is take a shower. At least at the end of every night in the morning, when possible. But listen, if you're going to a show of this magnitude with this many people, you're going to get all sorts of smells are going to permeate throughout the days you're there, and there's no way around it. Maybe a better thing is, bring a clothespin and breathe through your mouth. I don't know what to I don't know what
Wear a
to tell
mask, I
you.
guess.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You can still wear a mask if you so choose. So maybe that's the answer. But coming down the stretch here, anything you want to kind of add that we missed?
No, I think we've covered a lot of different things. Obviously, if people have questions, reach out to John, bug him about it. He's, no,
Well,
it,
listen, I always try to answer questions. I don't have all the answers. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. A lot of the stuff too, Mike. There's just a lot of it's kind of common sense. A lot of even the tips we give, you could apply to any show, even a local show. This is just a bigger
sure.
magnitude. Obviously, longer, going for 5 days rather than 2 or 3 or 1. And so, but a lot of the stuff still applies, and it's going to be fun. I'm counting the days down. We do our counter. Looking forward to seeing you there. I just saw you a few weeks back in Dallas, but you can't get too much Mike Moynihan. I don't think that's physically possible. So look
Thank you,
forward
John.
to. You didn't know that was coming, but so I'm looking forward to. It's going to be fun, And the sad thing is that week just goes by, so it seems like a blur. And then here we are counting from 365 days to the next one. So uh, there you go.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had a bad national yet, so I'm
Hard to
hoping this
imagine
one.
that you could.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I appreciate you giving some time and pick your brain. I know you know your stuff when it comes to this, and I knew I wanted to do it with you because I know you enjoy it just as much as I do, if not more. So
I love it.
thanks. All right. So hopefully we'll see everybody in Atlantic City.